Good evening, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Maria Bird, and along with my best half, Tanya Imhoff, we're co-chairs of the West Vancouver District Parent Advisory Council. And before we begin, we'd like to invite Destiny Nahani, a grade 11 student from West Vancouver Secondary, to the podium to do tonight's land acknowledgement.
I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Squamish Nation and want to thank our friends and colleagues in the nation who are working with us to guide our understanding of the history of this land and its people. Respect and honor the elders past, present, and future as we begin this knowledge to the students in our community.
Thank you, Destiny. So the West Vancouver District Parent Advisory Council, or DPAC, is an advisory body of parent volunteers from all West Vancouver schools. Together, we promote parental views for the West Vancouver Board of Education and work closely with the West Vancouver School District to build the learning environment we want for our children. School trustees are people in your community who make important decisions on your behalf. It is our privilege to host this forum so you may be informed on candidates before you vote. Thank you to all the candidates for being here with us this evening. On October 15th, you will be voting for 5 of these candidates for trustees. For members of the audience, we have index cards available if you have a burning question you'd like the trustee to answer. A member of the DPAC executive will collect the questions. We won't repeat questions, nor will we ask questions about your child's progress.
So it's my pleasure to introduce to you tonight a fellow DPAC member and this evening's moderator, Jatinder Sidhu. Jatinder has worked as a journalist for the BBC News in the UK and around the world for 21 years. He moved to Canada 4 years ago, along with his wife and 3 children, choosing West Vancouver due to the phenomenal schools. As a homemaker, he volunteers on a number of boards and committees and tries to find time for freelance journalism. So give it up for Jatinder.
Thank you so much. Great, lovely crowd. Thank you everybody for coming tonight. Actually find my bit. Don't want to read Maria's and Tanya's. So thank you Tanya and Maria, and thank you DPAC volunteers who organised this. And welcome to our candidates. Shall I adjust this slightly? So we have Carolyn, Dave, Felicia, Lynn, Nicole, and Sheila. That's alphabetical order by first name, not last name, just to confuse you a little. So we have, I think, some really interesting questions. Please do write some questions if you have any, as Maria said, or Tanya said, burning questions. No pressure at all for you guys. You're all consummate professionals. Although I will remind you that voters may rush to Municipal Hall at 8 o'clock in the morning to cast their votes as part of the advance voting option on the basis of what you say this evening. So a very quick rundown of the format. So we start with 2-minute introductions from each candidate. Please remain seated for the duration, just for your comfort. We will then move on to the question and answer period. Answers will be limited to 1 minute in that part of it, unless you're told otherwise. As mentioned, we hope to get the audience questions in, time permitting, and towards the end of the evening, we'll allow the candidates to give us a closing statement. So our timekeepers over there, Nessa and Marissa, thank you for doing the job. They'll give you warnings at 30 seconds and 15 seconds remaining. Look at that. Some homemade props. And we've got a bell. Yes. Okay. Right. Just like the debaters. To ensure fairness, we will be strict with our time limits. And when I say strict, they are very, very nice. In fact, nobody's really strict in our school community. Right, Tanya. There you are. Okay. Can I have a name? We're going to draw from a bag to see who's first. And then we'll go in alphabetical order by surname.
Can't stand it.
Right, Dave, your question. No, it's a statement. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, and thank you to DPAC for hosting this event. My name is Dave Stevenson, and I'm asking for your vote to continue to be one of the 5 voices for your school board. I have faithfully served as a school trustee for 29 years, making the right decisions that have guided and managed this wonderful school district. I know we do a lot of things well, and we can continue to improve. I have and will put student achievement and success as my #1 priority. As a college administrator, former instructor, and counselor, I understand education and our community, what makes effective programs, and how to help all our students create their future. I know how to keep the school district looking forward, and I know how to listen and make good decisions. I know how to manage the governance of the business of making public education and making good financial decisions. I have some new ideas to grow our budget, and so we have room to be more effective. I understand we need to continue to support all our students to find their success and to be kind and well in all they do. I listen to the community, educational research, and what is best for kids to learn. We have an excellent school district, and it has been an honor to have taken part in creating the success for all our students and community. Parents will always be the primary educators of their children's values and character. The school district teaches the provincial curriculum and provides the powerful opportunities for academics, music, sports, the arts, and all the other programs that help our children and youth find their passion and build their future. Our schools are a wonderful place to learn and grow up with wonderful teachers, administrators, staff, with amazing support from parents in the community. We are a living example of it takes a village to raise a child. My education and experience mean I understand the needs of students and community and why a school trustee can make a difference to manage and improve public education and to advocate for the best from Victoria. I ask for one of your votes so I can continue the work of making our schools great, making our schools a great place to learn, and I will continue to honor the trust that you have placed in me. Please vote Dave Stevenson. I have 2 props. Oh, time up. I'll fit them in later. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Felicia.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
Hi, good evening, everyone. And thank you for DPAC for hosting this event. Thank you, everyone, for spending your precious evening with us, participating in this civic conversation and being well informed about one of the most important decisions in your children's education and well-being. Today is World Teachers' Day, so I would just like to take this opportunity to thank them. And our school district's high-achieving reputation and innovative program couldn't happen without them. To all the amazing teachers here tonight and those beyond, happy World Teachers' Day. Okay, my name is Felicia Zhu. I'm a parent of 2 children, one in grade 7 and another in grade 10, both currently enrolled in our school system. And they both in the audience today to make sure I don't say anything embarrass them tonight. Okay, they have way past the age to allow me to call them adorable, but I just love them so much. They remain the strongest motivation for me to work hard to make the school district even greater for everyone. So I graduated from Oxford University with a master's degree in education and immigrated to Canada as a skilled worker of education facilitation. With more than 20 years of working experience both abroad and in our local school systems, I'm passionate about education. During the 5 years as a settlement worker in schools, I have helped more than 500 families to access information, resources, and programs, increase their understanding of Canadian culture and the BC school system. I always encourage them to volunteer in schools and participate in events in the community. I dedicate myself to being a role model for them. Since I moved to West Vancouver in 2012, I have volunteered actively, including serving on the West Vancouver Memorial Library Board for the last 8 years. Okay, and then leave that.
Thank you, Felicia. And now it's Lynn.
Good Good evening, everyone. It is a delight to be back in front of all of you and in my alma mater, West Van Secondary. I would like to start by thanking our host, the West Van District Parent Advisory Council, and the parents, students, teachers, and community members for taking time to be here this evening. I would also like to thank my fellow candidates for putting their names forward to serve our school district. I'm looking forward to our discussion tonight. My name is Lynn Block, and I'm running for re-election as your school trustee. As a way of a brief background, I am a recipient of the Prime Minister's Award for Teaching Excellence. I hold a bachelor's and a master's in education administration from UBC, and over the past 30+ years, I've served as an elementary and secondary educator and facilitated teacher training and professional development all over BC. I'm a graduate of West Van. My children also graduated from West Van schools, and now my eldest grandchild just began in our school district too. Over my 50+ years in West Van, I've lived in Ambleside, Caulfield, Cedardale, Dunderave, Lions Bay, West Bay, and Bowen Island. And from these lived experiences, I have a deep appreciation of the unique needs and priorities of children and families throughout the school district. It has been my greatest honor to serve as your trustee these last 4 years. I'm proud to have served on the Finance and Facilities, Audit, and English Language Learners Committees, as well as being the liaison to a number of our schools, various community organizations, and attended important school and district events. I am passionate about education, the future of our school district, and supporting our parents, our staff, and our children. I'm running again to ensure that we continue to build a brighter future for our children and our grandchildren. And I would be honored to once again earn your trust and your vote to continue serving as your school trustee. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. And now, Carolyn.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you all for coming, and thank you, DPAC, for hosting us this evening. My name is Carolyn Brody, and I believe the fundamental role of a trustee is to improve student outcomes while ensuring members of our community have a strong voice in shaping our public education system. I grew up in West Van, and my husband and I returned here to raise our children, in part because of the outstanding public education system. I was first elected in 2011, have served as board chair since 2014. While my priority has and always will be ensuring the best educational outcomes for students in West Van, I am also the president of the BC School Trustees Association, vice president of the Canadian School Boards Association, and in 2018 I was appointed by the Minister of Education to the BC Teachers Council. These roles allow me a unique opportunity to advocate provincially and federally on important issues such as funding, transportation, youth mental health, climate change, DRIPA and reconciliation, equity, diversity and inclusivity, and most importantly, on improving student outcomes, ensuring that the needs of individual students, especially those who are most vulnerable, are met. It has also allowed me to tell the story of West Vancouver, in Victoria, across BC, and in Ottawa. A story about ensuring that excellence in education is at the core of our work. A common question during this campaign has been, what needs to be fixed or improved in West Van schools? My answer is, well, there's always room for improvement or to expand opportunities for students. We are the highest achieving school district in BC, and we must continue to be leaders in education, to set policy direction and to ensure students are thriving and that they continue to be offered a myriad of academic, extracurricular, and social opportunities. This decision here in BC to keep students in school during the pandemic has positioned us well. While we are seeing some impacts on youth mental health, we are not seeing the learning loss that is being identified in other jurisdictions. There's still work to be done to support students and ensure our schools continue to be safe and welcoming, but we are again able to focus on a number of priorities, which I'll speak to shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. And now it's the turn of Nicole.
Thank you. Good evening, West Vancouver, and happy World Teachers' Day. My name is Nicole Brown, and it's been an honor to have served 2 terms as trustee supporting student success, being a voice for constituents, and ensuring accountability to taxpayers in our public schools. My background prior to running for election included 9 years as library trustee and then chair of its foundation. My career with Rogers Media was in sales and marketing of online educational products to K-12 schools, public libraries, and colleges across Canada. I'm a parent of 2 whose youngest just graduated from Sentinel last spring. I'm currently vice chair of the Metro Branch for BC School Trustees, the district's representative for the BC School Employees Association, and chair of our Human Resources Committee. Our community has high expectation for our schools, and rightfully so. Students deserve to have an excellent educational experience that will help them develop into healthy, engaged citizens that are able to pursue the life path of their choice. Excellence in this regard does not mean one size fits all. A strong academic foundation will always be a priority, but it also means high-quality learning supports in place for students who need them, whether for physical, neurological, or behavioral issues. It means continuing to offer innovative programs of choice that empower students to build robots, join honor choir, become a yoga instructor, or start their journey to becoming a Red Seal carpenter. It means a commitment to ensuring that our school spaces are welcoming to everyone, LGBTQ, First Nations, and newcomers to Canada, many of whom are trying to learn a new language and navigate their way in a new country. Success means every student being able to walk through the doors of their school and say, I belong here. That is my vision of excellence in education for West Vancouver schools.
Would you guys like to be seated? Please do. Okay. Yeah, lots of seats. Thank you, Nicole. And now it's Sheila's turn.
Thank you. I'll post my speeches on my website. I'm Sheila Donahue, Vice Chair of the Board. For the past 8 years, I've had the honor of being a trustee. I'm a Human Resources Vice Chair, Audit Committee Chair, and the local Provincial Council Rep. I've served as DPAC Chair, Rockridge PAC Co-Chair, and on many other committees and boards. But in this part of the evening, I'd like to tell you about the work I do now on your behalf and why my experience qualifies me to continue as one of your trustees. In addition to HR and financial audit, I'm the trustee member of the Indigenous Education Council. Sempulian is my counterpart on the Squamish Nation. We're dedicated to formalizing our relationships with Indigenous partners and bringing this work to life in a way that enriches our students and honors the history of this land. I'm co-chair of the Joint Traffic and Safety Committee, along with the municipal councillor, your DPAC rep, bylaw, police, engineering, and facilities. Speed bumps, safety blitzes, and flashing crosswalks are some of the tangible results of this work. There's much more to do, particularly around improving public transit and safe biking and walking, and I hope to continue this work for you. Last year, I was elected to our BC Trustees Association Metro Branch Executive. I collaborate with colleagues from Metro Vancouver to advocate for issues common to our region. The mentorship I've received has been invaluable both as a new trustee and today. This year, my Metro peers elected me to the Provincial Learning Council. PLC helped set the course for trustee orientation and professional development throughout BC. I'm part of the Metro ELL Learners Consortium. This group is made up of teachers, staff, Swiss workers, trustees, and administrators. We work towards common goals and advocate with provincial and federal government to ease the transition for new students and families to Canada. I do this work so I can make informed decisions based on up-to-date information on issues that impact school communities here in our district. The education landscape changes quickly and for many reasons, and it's essential that you elect trustees who commit to being engaged and enthusiastic throughout the term, and you have my word that I will continue to be a tireless advocate for you and your children, and I ask for your vote on the 15th or in the advance poll. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. And now we move on to some questions. So these were solicited from across our school community. Candidates have not been given any questions in advance. So I would like you to limit your responses to 1 minute each. Each question will be directed to 3 candidates. And after they've answered, there will be an opportunity for the others to answer if they wish to do so. You'll have 30 seconds in that case. So let's start with this question, and this one will be for Lynn, Dave, and Carolyn. We have outstanding schools and a school district leadership team which commands widespread respect. But it's a constant battle to retain the best teachers. What solutions would you propose? Lynn.
I agree. We do have outstanding district leadership team. I've worked in quite a few districts, and truly, we really have the best, starting from Secretary Treasurer, all the excellent people at the top. One of the problems that we do have is in most districts is that we don't have enough people to fill the positions. We don't have that here, and I'll tell you why. We have excellent school system where people want to come here and work. They do. Secondly, we have mentoring and role modeling and professional development at high standards here in this district. We don't have that in other districts or as many as they have. So we retain them here, they love it here, they have their families here, and we bring people here, they want to come and work here because of the culture here. It's a collaborative culture. Thank you.
Dave, would you do ask me to repeat the question if you need to at any time?
Good, thank you. This is a big political question. So there are 44,000 people in West Vancouver, and that's about what it's stayed for the last number of years. The average house price in West Vancouver is $3-something. It is almost impossible for anyone to purchase one of those houses in this community, and for our teachers to purchase, that just doesn't work. We have to look at, and this is political will, we have to look at how we can increase this community so there can be a greater stock so that people can rent. And I know we all want to have a wonderful place to live, and our teachers want to have a wonderful place to live so their kids can run around in the backyard and all those things. We need to figure out how to make this community a little bit more welcome so there can be a few more people here so that, one, it can lower our taxes possibly, we can have better services and a better community, and we can have many of the people that work in the community live in the community. We're not going to get them all here, but maybe some of the teachers, some of the firefighters, some of the police, those are really essential services.
Thank you, Dave. Carolyn.
Thank you. We do have a phenomenal group of teachers and educators in this district, in part due to our high achievement rates, but also an excellent HR department who works hard to bring the best and the brightest into our community. So we do not have a huge issue at the moment with recruitment and retention of teachers. It is more difficult for ECEs, early childhood educators, and education assistants. I have proposed recently that we look at working with Capilano University on dual credit programs to try and educate the people in our community so they stay in our community. I also do think we need to talk, as Dave has mentioned, about other housing options, be it more townhouses or things like that, but also increased transportation opportunities to bring people into our community, not just teachers, but firefighters, police, all those things, that people that cannot live locally. And finally, we have looked at innovative ways in the district, one of which is we are offering childcare for the students, or sorry, for families that are working for us to try and keep the kids close by so when they come to work, their children are near them. So we are thinking outside the box and trying to do our very best to ensure that we retain our staff and continue to have excellent educators. Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. Everybody's keeping to time. Right, for our next question, this will go to...
We can add something? We have 30
Oh, yes.
seconds.
Sorry, I didn't offer you the opportunity. Please do.
No, just quickly give a number, so maybe just people are curious. In West Van, we actually have less 10% of our staff live here. So if that number interests you, I just want to share here.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Jatinder?
Yes, Nicole.
So with HR committee work that I've done, I will tell you that we have some really innovative recruitment practices. They are aggressive about going after young teachers at various fairs. They have it online. And they tell the story of why you want to work at West Van Schools. And it's a really positive one to share. And so when we talk about trying to compete across Metro against a lot of competitive forces from the workplace, West Vancouver schools have tremendous job opportunities. So that's why we get people. We do.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. Sheila?
The other candidates have pretty much enumerated most of this topic, but I will add that since 2014, I've been advocating for better transit too. That is something that both of our unions have told us that they need. People would like to take the bus to work, not be so car dependent, and we're really working towards that on some of the committee work that I do. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, for our next question, and this one will go to Carolyn, Felicia, and Nicole. With the greatest of respect to incumbent trustees here and everywhere, and all the experience that they bring, what would you say newcomers bring to the table, to the board? Carolyn.
Thank you. As a community, the face of West Vancouver has changed a great deal in the last decade, and I think having new voices and new perspectives at the table is is incredibly important to keep the work that we're doing energized, forward-thinking, inclusive. And I think having other voices come in that have not been on the board for periods of time, I'm going into my fourth room, adds more to the discussion and will bring in new ideas and help us continue to be better and stronger and do more to support students in the district. Thank you.
Felicia.
Can you read that question again?
Yeah, sure. So with great respect to our incumbent trustees here and everywhere else, and all the experience that they bring, what would you say that newcomers bring to the school board?
Yeah, that's the question. I can probably speak for. I think all the newcomers. First of all, again, I'm a very much number person, so I give you a number again. West Vancouver is changing. The demographic is changing. So West Vancouver School District has more than 7,000 students. That's the last year number. We have more than that this year. So with 40% of them self-reporting their home language is not English, which maybe not necessarily means newcomer, but pretty much like me who speak language, English is not my first language. So, but they do bring a lot of wealth of cultural career experience and a lot of diversity to this school district. So, okay. So I found my sense of belongings here, and I wish my presentation on the board would bring them to.
Thank you. And Nicole.
Hi, well, we welcome new voices, of course, in governance. Last election, almost 50% of trustees turned over, and they're anticipating another high number again this round. So in our board, it's a smaller possibility, but that doesn't mean it's just in the governance piece. It talks to your district leadership team. It talks to who you're elevating to the roles of principals and other decision-making faculties across your school district. So I want to be open to great people who want to do the right thing for kids and who are professional and skilled and enthusiastic about learning.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to comment? Sheila.
Every month we have something at our board meetings called Board Highlights. And we get to see what students are doing in our community. And I have to tell you that the newcomers are bringing us a lot of acclaim. Their work is amazing. We have some of the best academic standards in I think the country. But a lot of this is due because of the students that we have here today, who are diverse, who do come from other places, and who bring really strong academic skills to the community. Thank you.
Dave.
Everybody at this table ran for trustee as a candidate once upon a time. They put their skills before the community, and for a number of years, this board has a strong tradition of blending voices, new and old. That will continue. Old trustees bring experience, new trustees have a learning curve, and they can add to the board, and it's just, it's your choice.
Thank you. Lynn.
I'm assuming it's newcomers to the board, correct?
Yes.
As the newcomer to the board last time, I brought a perspective that hadn't been on for a little while as a teacher from the education background. And research-based learning, whatever that may be, new ideas and perspectives. And I think those are valuable. You need that to bring in. It also starts conversations that perhaps haven't been there before. So for my time here, I have learned a lot, but at the same time, I've been able to contribute new stuff. Thank you.